Something is about to land in your life. Not a coincidence. Not a random moment. A message, and the person sending it has been sitting with words they never had the courage to say until right now. Stay with me. Because what came through in these cards today is unlike anything I've pulled in a while. Welcome back, beautiful souls. If you are new here, I am so glad the universe guided you to this space today, because this reading, I truly believe, found you for a reason. And for those of you who have been here before, welcome home. Take a breath. Settle in. Light a candle if you have one nearby. Pour yourself something warm. Because we are going deep today. This is a collective reading, which means I am speaking to a group of souls who are all connected to a similar energy right now. Not every single word will land for every single person, so as always, take what resonates, and gently release what does not. Trust your gut. Your intuition brought you here. Let it guide you through this too. Before I even get into the cards, I want to tell you what I felt the moment I sat down to do this reading. There was this very specific stillness in the energy, almost like that pause right before someone finally exhales after holding their breath for a very long time. A tension releasing. A decision being made. And it was not your decision. It was theirs. There is someone in your life, and many of you know exactly who I am talking about the moment I say that, who has been doing an enormous amount of internal work lately. Quietly. In the background. Away from you. They have been sitting in their own thoughts, their own regrets, their own realizations, and something has cracked open inside of them. Something they cannot ignore anymore. And what I am seeing in these cards today is that they are about to come to you. Not the version of them that shows up with walls and defenses and carefully chosen words designed to protect their ego. No. They are about to come to you with something raw. Something honest. Something they probably never expected to say. Let us get into the cards, because Spirit wants to speak through these images today. The first card that came out of this deck stopped me in my tracks. I want you to feel into this one, because it carries the entire foundation of what we are reading today. The energy here is the fire remains. And when I pulled this card, I felt something in my chest, this warmth, almost like embers that have been quietly glowing under ash. You know that feeling when you think a fire has gone out completely, and then a breeze moves through and suddenly there is orange light again? That is the energy of this card. That is the energy your person is sitting in right now. The love between you, and I want to be very clear about this, it did not die. For some of you, it might have felt like it did. There may have been distance, silence, maybe even words said that felt like they were closing a door. But Spirit is showing me that what happened was not the love dying. It was the love going underground. It was getting buried under pain, under pride, under fear, under all of the things that humans do when they do not know how to handle something that feels too big and too real and too important. And what is rising right now, what this card is illuminating, is that fire coming back to the surface. In them. In your person. They have been feeling it, and they have probably tried to ignore it. Probably tried to rationalize it away. Maybe they even tried to replace it. But this card is telling us something so important: you cannot replace something that was never truly extinguished. I am hearing something in the channeled space right now, and I want to share it with you. This feels like it is coming directly from your person's inner world, not something they would necessarily say out loud yet, but something turning over and over inside of them. I kept telling myself it was done. That I had moved on. That what we had was just something I needed to learn from and leave behind. But I cannot stop thinking about the version of myself I was with you. Not because it was perfect, it was not. But because it was real. More real than anything I have found since. And I think I have been running from that because real things scare me. Real things can be lost. But I am starting to understand that I have already been losing something by pretending it was not there. That is what is living inside of them right now. That quiet confession that they have not yet put into words for anyone else. For those of you this resonates with, I need you to breathe. Because this is significant. The second card that came out carries such an important message. This one is called Second Chances. And before anyone starts projecting what that means onto their specific situation, I want to approach this card the way Spirit is showing it to me. Because this is not just about a second chance at a relationship. It is about a second chance at understanding. A second chance at asking the right questions. And that phrase, asking the right questions, is central to this entire reading. Spirit keeps pulling me back to it. Your person has been having a reckoning with themselves about the questions they never asked. Of themselves. Of you. Of the situation. When we are in the middle of something painful, whether it is a breakup, a falling out, a period of disconnect, we tend to ask the surface level questions. Why did this happen? Who is to blame? How do I protect myself from feeling this again? Those are the survival questions. They are necessary. But they are not the deep questions. They are not the questions that actually lead to growth. The deep questions are harder. They sound like, what was I afraid of that I never admitted? What did I actually need from this person that I never asked for? Where did I choose my pride over my heart? What would have happened if I had just been honest? Your person has been in the territory of those deeper questions. And this card is telling me that growth has happened as a result. Real growth. Not performance growth, not the kind where someone just says the right things, but the interior kind, where something genuinely shifts and a person becomes more capable of love, more capable of honesty, more capable of showing up with their full self. I want to pause and acknowledge something, because this is a collective reading and I know there are many different situations represented here. Some of you have been waiting a long time for this person. Some of you have moved on and are surprised to be getting this reading today. Some of you are in active contact with this person and things feel strange and unresolved. Wherever you are, take what is relevant for your situation and hold it gently. Spirit does not waste energy. If this reading found you, there is something here for you. The channeled message that comes with this card feels more direct. More like something your person is trying to formulate in their mind, the way you rehearse a conversation before you have it. I never asked you what you actually needed. I assumed. And I filled in the blanks with my own fears and my own interpretations. I built a version of what I thought was happening between us and I reacted to that version, not to you. Not to the real you. I did not give you the space to tell me who you actually were. And I am starting to understand what that cost us both. There is an accountability in this energy that is striking. It does not feel performative. It does not feel like someone trying to manipulate their way back in. It feels like genuine realization. The kind that sits heavy but also carries a particular kind of freedom inside of it, because truth, even when it is uncomfortable, is always lighter than the weight of denial. The third card. This one carries the highest vibration of the entire spread. This is the awakening. And I mean that in the most grounded, real-world way possible, not in a floaty, abstract sense. An awakening is not always a beautiful experience. Sometimes it is disorienting. Sometimes it comes in the middle of the night when you cannot sleep and suddenly everything you thought you understood looks different. Sometimes it arrives when you are in the middle of a life that looked fine from the outside but felt hollow on the inside. This is what has happened to your person. Something cracked their perspective open. I am not getting specifics for most of you because this is collective energy, but I am feeling a range of catalysts. For some of you, it was your person hitting a low point, something not working out the way they expected after they stepped away from you. For others, it was a quiet moment of honesty with themselves, maybe journaling, maybe talking to someone they trust, maybe just driving somewhere alone and suddenly feeling the full weight of what they walked away from. And for some of you, it was something they saw or heard that reminded them of you so viscerally it broke through every defense they had built. Whatever the catalyst was, Spirit is showing me that the clarity it produced is real. And this is an important distinction, because clarity can sometimes be temporary. It can feel like an awakening in the moment and then fade when someone returns to their comfort zone. But the energy in this card is not that. The energy here is the kind of clarity that permanently changes your perspective. The kind you cannot unsee. They see now what they did not see before. They see the patterns in themselves. They see where they miscommunicated, where they misread things, where they let their own unresolved wounds drive decisions that affected you. And they see, perhaps most painfully, that they had something real, and they treated it as if it were ordinary. As if it were replaceable. There is grief inside this awakening. I want to honor that, because Spirit is pointing to it clearly. Your person is grieving. Not just the relationship or the connection, they are grieving the version of themselves that made those choices. That is a specific kind of grief that does not resolve quickly. But it is also the kind that produces profound change. The channeled message from this card is quieter. Almost like a prayer more than a conversation. I wish I had known then what I understand now. I wish I had not been so afraid of being fully seen that I kept pulling away every time things got real. I thought distance was safety. I thought walls were wisdom. I did not understand that all I was doing was protecting myself from the exact thing I wanted most. I am sorry for the confusion I created. I am sorry for making you feel like it was something wrong with you. It was never you. It was always something I needed to face inside myself. If that landed for you, take a moment with it. Because those words carry weight. The fourth and final card in this spread is Lost Without You. And I will be honest, when this card came out, I felt my eyes sting a little. Because the energy it carries is so human, so vulnerable, and so quietly devastating in the most tender way. Your person went looking. Some of you know this already, maybe you saw it, maybe you felt it, maybe someone told you. They searched elsewhere. For what, exactly? Different things for different people in this collective. Some searched for connection. Some searched for validation. Some searched for proof that what they felt for you was not as singular as it seemed. Some searched for distraction. Some searched for the feeling of moving forward when they did not actually want to move at all. And the card is clear, they found nothing that compared. This is not to make you feel superior or to reduce your person to someone who only wants you because other options fell short. That is not the spiritual teaching here. The teaching is about recognition. About the universe having a way of showing us, through contrast, what we actually value. We do not always know what we have until we are standing in the middle of something that is not it, feeling the difference with our whole body. Your person has felt that difference. They have been in spaces, physical and emotional, that highlighted your absence. Not in a dramatic way, necessarily. In the quiet ways. The small moments where they turned to say something and realized there was no one there who would understand it the way you would. The moments where something funny happened and their first instinct was to tell you. The moments where they were sad and everything else felt insufficient. You were always the answer. That is what this card is saying. Not because you are perfect. Not because the dynamic between you was without flaws. But because there is something between your souls that does not replicate. Something that was built through time and honesty and the specific way two people come to understand each other when they have been through things together. I want to speak to your heart for a moment, because Spirit is directing me toward you now, not just toward your person. You have been carrying this. I know you have. Whether it has looked like sadness or strength or numbness or obsessively overanalyzing every interaction, you have been holding this energy for a while. And part of you has been waiting, maybe not even consciously, for some kind of movement from their side. For some sign that what you felt was not one-sided. That the connection was as real as it felt to you. This reading is that sign. These cards are that confirmation. And if you are in a place where you are still healing, where you are not sure you want this reconnection, where you have built a life that feels good and whole without this person, honor that too. A reading that resonates does not mean you are obligated to a specific outcome. It means the energy is alive. What you do with alive energy is always your choice. For those of you who are ready, who have been hoping for this movement, who have been holding space for this person in your heart even when it hurt, I hope this reading feels like a breath of fresh air. Like permission to stop bracing for disappointment. Like confirmation that what you sensed was not made up. You are loved. You are worth the vulnerable message. You are worth the questions that come late, wrapped in growth and regret and something that resembles courage. Whatever happens next, you are not alone in this. You have your own wisdom. You have your own intuition. And clearly, you have spirit showing up in the most specific ways to remind you that the story is not over, and that truth, when it finally rises to the surface, always finds its way to where it belongs. Thank you so much for being here today. If this reading resonated with you, please let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you about what lands and what unfolds in your lives after these sessions. If you feel called to share this with someone else who might need to hear it, please do. These readings go where they are meant to go. Take good care of your hearts. I will see you in the next one.